Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 29 of What If Naruto is Neglected by Everyone. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, stay in tune because after this, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was sent to the Marvel world. So stay in tune for that, and I hope you guys enjoy. And over on Anime King 2, I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was a God Amongst Man. And I'm also going to be posting a new episode of What If Orochimaru was Naruto's father. So stay in tune for that, and I hope you guys enjoy. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support, guys. And yeah, remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. And without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last spot we left off, Narumi and Mito and Kushina arrived to the scene to see Naruto on the ground as he was beaten, as Naruto was unable to move after his fight with Madara. As suddenly a swirling vortex opened up as the masked man came out. As Kushina couldn't believe it was true, as she asked Obito why. Why was he doing all of this? As she and Obito cursed at each other, as Obito told her that she didn't understand nothing. She was also angry at him, because if it wasn't for him, none of this would have happened. The Nine Tails wouldn't have been extracted from her, and she would have carried the burden instead of her kid. And Naruto would never be in this state now, as she attacked him but her chain fly right through him. As Obito rushed straight towards Naruto, passing right through Narumi and Mito. As he grabbed Naruto, as he demanded for him to tell him where the Gedo statue is, but Naruto simply chuckled, as he did not tell him anything, as Obito knew that the Nine Tails was no longer within him. So, the process must have already been started, as he attacked Naruto relentless, for Naruto to tell him. He even sliced off Naruto's arm, as Mito and Narumi run to his aid as they heal the stump, as Naruto was on the ground in pain, as both Mito and Narumi activate Sage Mode, as Narumi sent a frog back to Konoha. The battle then starts as they try to attack Obito, but they fail as they could not touch him. As Liz and Menma then arrive, as Liz created a hybrid out of all their elements and Menma created dragons from his elements, as they attack Obito. Suddenly, Minato, Guy, Kakashi, Tsunade, and Jiraiya arrive, as Minato uses a High-Shin and teleported the Kushina with the others behind him. As they saw the battlefield, as Naruto quickly opened a giant portal in the sky as a giant tail emerged. Naruto froze time as he arrived on top of the tail, as Obito rushed forward to stop him, but it was too late. As Naruto absorbed it, Naruto found himself in a world where he isn't hated or anything, but Naruto still chose the same path, as he could not let this beast control him. The tail chuckled to see what he chose, as the ramen signaled peace and the sword signaled war, but he chose the both of them, as the tail found him to be a strange human being. As the tail subsided, as Naruto gained power of the full tail, as Naruto emerged with his look changed, his white hair, his Rinnegan eyes pulsating. He had a staff in his hand that had 3 pointed end like a fork, and he had 10 truth-seeking aura behind him. As Naruto landed, Naruto completely destroyed Obito, as Naruto placed him in an illusional state where every time he will see Ren, but Naruto will arrive and rip her away from him, killing her. As Naruto placed him into a dimension where he will live that over and over again. Black Zetsu tried to take over Naruto, but Naruto split him after going through his memory, as Naruto was shocked to realize the things that Black Zetsu knew. The sage was right, Naruto thought. As Naruto split Black Zetsu simply chuckled, saying that he could reform from this, until Naruto destroyed him on a subatomical level, leaving nothing behind. Guy seeing Naruto's power, knowing that the only way was for him to open the 8 gates, as Kakashi and the others, as they told him what would happen, and he knew, but he will die protecting Konoha. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can choose your course, please and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. Naruto stood on the battlefield with an impassive look on his face. He waved his hand to both Menma and Liz as the both of them jumped back, because in front of him was Guy, who was rushing forward as the others watched as Guy activated a gate as a red aura exploded around him. As Naruto stood there, just looking at Guy curiously, as Mito looked at her mother. Mom, do you really think that will be enough? After what Naruto just did, do you really think that Guy Sensei can defeat him? You should know, that technique that Guy is using, he have a high chance of not surviving after this. What? Said Narumi after hearing that. So why would he do it? As she looked at her dad, Dad, you know Guy Sensei could die. As Minato did not say anything, as she saw the sad look in Kakashi's eye, as they all knew, as she clenched her fists. Meanwhile, up in the air with Menma and Liz. Do you think that Naruto has become that strong? Asked Liz. Just look at him, said Menma. Do you think that he's weak? Well, he's not that. Remember what he told us when he was learning about all the great fighting techniques, the abilities. That is the 8th inner gate. That is the final stage where your blood completely evaporates, giving you that red aura, said Liz. Remember what he said, that is incredibly powerful, and even at the stage he was in back then, it could kill him. Yes, but he has passed that stage now, said Menma. I don't think that guy will be able to. But Menma could not continue that sentence as Guy vanished in a blur. He appeared above Naruto and drive his fist down. Pure wind pressure came from it as it shot down like a bullet. Naruto placed his staff in front of him, but it slammed him with so much force, Naruto was sent into the ground. As Guy then came down with a spinning kick as he brought his leg down, right up on top of Naruto, as the entire ground exploded as Guy's foot met with Naruto's staff, pushing Naruto deeper into the ground. Guy pulled back his fist, but he felt a small crack in his bone. But he still pulled it back as he drive it down, the wind pressure pushing Naruto even deeper underground. As Guy then jumped back, as the group watched, waiting. But the ground then exploded as Naruto emerged. He dusted himself off. I must say, at this level, I thought I would be above everything else. But I can see you're strong. I read about your 8 inner gates. It grants you incredible physical power. And right now your physical power can damage me. But it doesn't matter, you have a limit. Soon enough, your time will run out. Because your blood is already evaporating, look at you. But it doesn't matter, said Naruto. If this is going to be the last challenging fight I'm going to have. Because without you, I don't think that your protege Lee can advance this state. Well, as of yet. And for the rest of the Kages, they weren't able to beat Madara. Well, I did, at my human state, but now I'm something else. I've become something else. And I'll show you. I'll push myself to see what I'm truly capable of, Naruto said, as an aura exploded from him. As Naruto's body was enveloped in a dark aura. Both him and Guy dashed forward as Naruto pulled his staff and swung it forward. Guy ducked under it as he thrust his fist forward. But Naruto vanished in a blur. He appeared behind Guy and drive his staff down. But Guy stomped into the ground with so much force, he propelled his body up over Naruto as he flipped down and brought down his leg in an ox kick motion. But Naruto sent his Truth Seeker ball up, but Guy flipped out of the way as he landed, as Naruto sent the other 9 Truth Seeker ball after Guy. As Guy flipped and jumped away, As Guy noticed, when these things touched the ground, it was like they disintegrated. Imagine what they do to the human body. As Guy was in mid-air, as a last Truth Seeker orb was coming towards him. "Got you now," said Naruto. But he was shocked when Guy literally stepped on air and run straight up into the air. Guy then vanished as he appeared behind Naruto and sent a kick with so much force the wind pressure knocked Naruto away. He appeared in front of Naruto and sent a punch as the wind pressure put Naruto back in the center. He appeared on the side and sent another punch as the wind pressure put Naruto back in the center. As he kept on doing that until Naruto was in the center of a large wind pressure, stuck in the middle. Guy then dashed forward as he pulled back his fist, ready to aim it straight at Naruto's head. But his bone in his hand snapped. He still didn't let that hold him back though. He planted his leg in Naruto's side. As Naruto's body was sent hurtling as he smashed through the ground. Naruto only said, "Don't worry, he's fine. Remember, he has all of the other tail beasts. Imagine his healing ability now," said Menma. But he was still a bit worried for Naruto as well. As Minato was watching, at this level, Guy was far superior to him. But will it be enough? Will it still be enough to end Naruto? As Minato saw Jiraiya as well. Jiraiya had his hands closed, with the two toes on his shoulder, in case he was entering Sage mode. As Nade was preparing herself as well. As he saw Kakashi there as well, it seemed that the three of them talked to each other, as Kakashi was gathering his chakra. The group saw Naruto pick himself up, as his side was dead to eat. But it started to refill as the healing kicked in, as he returned back to normal within seconds. As Naruto chuckled, "I must say, Guy, I never expected this from you. You're actually stronger than all of the 5 Kages combined. I, Naruto Uchiha, declare you the strongest of them all." Guy stood there huffing. Even after all that he said, as Guy dashed forward again, surprising Naruto with his speed. "First step," he said, as he launched an air cannon, stopping Naruto in his tracks, as he vanished again. "Second step," he said, another air cannon, trapping Naruto inside. "Third step, fourth step." He then appeared in the center and slammed his fist right in Naruto's back, as Naruto coughed up some blood, as he was sent smashing into the ground with great force. Guy went down, as he was huffing and puffing badly. Narumi looked over at her mother. "Mom, I think that's it." "That should have surely knocked him out, right?" "Yeah, I think that could have bring him down," said Mito. "We should go," but they couldn't get to finish that sentence, as they heard laughter, as they saw the ground crack, as Naruto pulled himself out, as he had bruises over his body, but they were healing like nothing. As Naruto looked over at Guy, "Come on, is that all the best you got?" he said. As Guy looked at his body that was aching in pain, even after all that he still stands. Guy then went down on all fours, as the red aura around him started to dance even more. "Let's dance some more," said Naruto, as the aura around Naruto started to dance. "Let me show you the full might of Uchiha Naruto," Naruto said, as his Susanoo exploded outwards, as something was different. This was a different Susanoo. It seemed that the power has granted him, giving him something even better, whether for the pattern and the strength and the power that he feel within it. As the golden Susanoo emerged, but this time it had black markings all over it that went in zigzag pattern. The 6 arms still remained there, but they looked more intense and powerful, as the head had a helmet on it that showed the eyes, which were red, blood red, as 2 horns was on the head, as the massive size was even a bit bigger, as it looked down at Guy and released a roar that shook the entire place, as Guy aura around him turned into a lion. "Let's see how you face off against this," Naruto said, as his Susanoo charged forward. With each step, the ground exploded under the weight, as Guy dashed forward and jumped in the air, as the both of them collided in together, releasing a huge white light that enveloped the entire place, as the explosion was massive, tearing through the area, Even the people who were distance away, even Menma and Liz who were in the air, were sent flying away as their bodies were pushed away. As Kushina dig her chains into the ground and grab onto both of her daughters, holding them in place, as the others were blown away, but they managed to regain some ground by holding onto the surrounding debris that stuck into the ground. This lasted for a couple of seconds until it all died down. As they looked closely, "Can you see what's going on?" asked Kakashi to Minato. As Minato looked forward, his eyes then went wide as he saw the dust fully clear away. The sea guy on the ground, well, half of him anyway, as his upper half was the only thing remaining. As Minato, all hopes right there fell. The power that guy just shown has proven even Naruto stated to be powerful than all the Kages combined. And still, as Minato turned his head to see Naruto standing right there, one of his arms were missing, but it started to regenerate in a couple of seconds, bringing him back to 100%. His arm was now back while Guy was done for, as Guy's lower half was incinerated. During the attack, as Minato felt all hope right there lost, as Mito and Narumi couldn't believe it, even after all that. As Liz regained her balance in mid-air, so did Menma. "He did it," Liz said. "I told you he would," said Menma, as the both of them descended down to the ground. Naruto then stepped forward as he walked over to Guy, top half. He looked down at him. "I must say, you're even powerful than Madara. And here rests another true warrior," Naruto said as he stood up. He then ascended off the ground, as Jiraiya already prepared himself as he was in sage mode. Tsunade diamonds spread around her body, ready for anything, even though after they witnessed what just happened with Guy, they still want to fight, they still want to protect their home. But Minato Hope was slipping. He was the Hokage, and he still feel hopeless. If Naruto could do this against Guy, which powers are stronger than theirs, all of the Kages combined, how could they win against him? Naruto then landed a few feet away from them, as all of them just looked at him, not saying a word, as Menma and Liz nodded. "What now?" said Liz. "Are you going to finish them off?" she asked, as Kakashi lifted up his head band, showing his Mangekyo Sharingan, looking at Naruto, ready for anything. "You have witnessed my power firsthand. Tell me, what do you think you can do against me with your Mangekyo Sharingan at that level?" "Naruto," Kushina said, as he turned to look towards her. "What now?" she asked. "You have all this power. You're an enemy of the entire world. What now?" she said. "Tell me, do you really think you can bend everyone control? Do you really think you can make everyone bow to you? The world will still fight against you no matter what. Everything you do, the world will still have someone there to say no, to still fight, to still try to go through to a better tomorrow without anyone ruling them." Naruto looked towards her. "The daimyos," he said. "What about the daimyos?" said Minato, as he looked at Naruto with narrow eyes. "They are your main suppliers. They are the one that fund the villages in their country. So, if I have control over the daimyos and the country, then the villages are mine," Naruto asked. "What?" Minato said. "What do you mean by that?" asked Jiraiya. "You will know soon enough. Don't worry. You here. It's not your time yet. When your time comes, you will know." As he then turned, "Let's go," he said, as he was walking off with Menma and Liz. "Naruto, wait!" Mito said, as Naruto stopped and looked at her. "We will stop you," she said to him. In an instant, he appeared in front of her, looking her directly in the eyes, as he placed a hand on her shoulder. "I am far above your level, but for the amusement, let's see you try," he said. And with that, he ascended up into the air. So did Menma and Liz, as they vanished with a burst of speed as Jiraiya looked at everyone. As he was gone, the ear became normal as Minato slumped down. "What now?" said Kushina, as everyone was just silent, not knowing what to do now. "I should call Akage's meeting and tell them what happened here. Everything has become even more dangerous as everything stands. With him having this power, there is no telling what he can do. And after witnessing that, he's far above any of us here," said Minato. Meanwhile, Naruto suddenly landed, as Liz and Menma didn't understand why. "Hey, the village is over there," she said. As Naruto wasn't saying anything, as he was just looking down at the earth. "Hey, what's up?" asked Menma. "When I went into Black Zetsu's mind, I saw something that intrigued me." "And what do you mean by that?" asked Menma. "Kaguya." "Huh? Who's Kaguya?" asked Liz. "She is the mother of the Sage of Six Paths." "The mother?" Liz said in surprise. "Wait. Black Zetsu?" Liz said. "What does he have to do with anything?" "Well, Zetsu is her son." "I don't understand," said Menma. "Wait, so you're telling me that all this time, Zetsu has been an immortal being walking the earth?" "It appears so," said Naruto. "He wanted to use me, Madara, even Obito to free his mother." "Free her? Where is she?" asked Liz. "The Sage of Six Paths trapped her, along with his brother, into a special ceiling. And I know exactly where it is," said Naruto. "But the amount of power you need to get there, it is only something you can achieve in this state." "You mean in your 10-tail state?" asked Menma. "Exactly." "Well then, what are we going to do about that?" Liz asked. "I'm going to take it," Naruto said. "What exactly do you mean by take it?" asked Liz. "Her power, of course." "Wait, Naruto, I know you're strong, but come on, the Sage of Six Paths? If he was a god of this world, how strong is his mother?" "That's exactly what I want to find out." As Naruto stepped forward, Liz stepped in front of him. "Naruto, look at me," she said. "Are you in your right mind?" "What do you mean by that?" "I mean, you absorbed the 10-tail. Is it messing with your mind in any way? To release the Sage of Six Paths mother, Kaguya, whatever her name was?" "I am in my right mind, of course," said Naruto. "Trust me, I can handle this." "Are you sure about this?" Menma asked. "Yes, I am 100% sure," said Naruto. "Because I have a trick up my sleeve." "And what is that?" "Well, you will see soon enough." "Wait, we're coming?" asked Liz. "Of course you are," said Naruto, as he slammed his hand together. It took a couple of seconds, but a rift tear opened in front of him, as it seemed like he was using a lot of chakra to open it. "Come on, go," he said, as the both of them stepped inside as he followed behind them. They arrived to a strange place. They saw nothing but darkness. "Hey, what the hell is going on?" said Liz. Until candles, a lot of candles, flipped on, with torches also on the wall. In the center of all of everything was a coffin. "What the hell?" said Menma. "Where are we?" "We're inside the seal," Naruto said. "So this is where he put his mother?" Naruto asked as he looked around. "Huh, that must be torture, being locked in there for so long," said Liz, as she stepped forward, but suddenly, a barrier appeared in front of her, burning her hand. "God damn it," she said. "Don't you think there must be something holding her back?" said Naruto. As he raised his hand and touched the barrier, it burned his hand a bit, but he still held on to it. He then thrust his hand straight through it, as he started to tear it open, as he pumped chakra and ripped open the barrier. They then stepped forward as they got closer to the coffin, as Naruto saw the chains, and there was a lot of Fuinjutsu seal on the ground and all over the walls that chains were attached to, that wrapped around the coffin, keeping it nice and tight and shut. "Hey, why do you even need this?" Liz said. "After all, after that guy you defeated back there, no one else on this world can really test you." "Well, if I don't get this power now, Soon enough, some other beings will come to this planet, and I think they will kill us all. Given that it's more than one of them, and their power are as great as Kaguya's. As Naruto started to walk again. What the hell they said? What is it? Said Naruto. Man, what the hell did you just say? Asked Menma. As Liz looked at him. Are you really gonna step over like that like we didn't hear it? What is this about other people from other worlds? Yes, Naruto said, Kaguya is not from this world. In fact, the infinite Tsukuyomi, what it really does is turn people into those white Zetsus. The white Zetsus? Liz said. Yes, said Naruto. It seems like Black Zetsu tricked everyone, as he was the one who rewrote the Uchiha tablet. So if Madara had used it, that mean everyone would have turned into white Zetsus? Said Menma. Yes, Naruto said. But why exactly would she want them? Asked Liz. She wanted to use them as her army. Her army? Yes. Other Otsutskis. Otsutskis? What are you talking about? Asked Liz. That's the name of their clan, Otsutskis. It's a whole group of them. It seems like she ran away and came to Earth, where she's been hiding out for years. But her sons defeated her, stopping that planet so she couldn't get the white Zetsus to build her army to prepare for the incoming Otsutskis. So when are they gonna get here? Asked Liz. I don't know exactly, said Naruto, but trust me, they will. If it's not tomorrow, it's the other day, or a couple of years in the future. Wait, aliens are coming to this Earth, said Menma. Extremely powerful, as the Sage of Six Paths, because his mother was. As powerful as him, right? Menma asked. Yes, said Naruto. And what exactly do they want? They want to drain this world of all the chakra, Naruto said. And that include us, asked Liz. Exactly, Naruto said. Liz sat down. So much information to take in. Well, I guess you have to do it, she said. She then got up. So, how exactly do you do this? As Naruto walked over, he looked down the seal on the ground. Stand back, he said. As he placed his hand on it, he then felt it. Even though he has a vast reserve of chakra, he felt his chakra being sucked out of him like it was nothing. As so much chakra, as Naruto let out a primal scream, as the seal shattered, as Naruto collapsed down to his knees, as he was on his hands huffing and puffing, on all fours, as his body was drained so much a minute ago, as his chakra will replenish, but so much. The chains exploded off the coffin, as Menma and Liz watched in silence, until the coffin lid exploded off, as smoke came over the area. As they watched, they felt it. A presence came out of the coffin. Meanwhile, Naruto was on the ground. Damn it, he cursed. He never expected the seal to take so much of his chakra. As he looked up, as he saw the ice, as the person flew in the air, she came to a stop as her long white hair reached down to the ground. Where am I? Who are you? She said. As Naruto looked up at her. Kaguya Otsutsuki, am I right? He asked. She narrowed her eyes at Naruto. The Shinji, she said. Seeing that Naruto has a 10 tail, which was made out of the god tree inside of him. As Naruto got up. Not exactly, he said. We're here to talk to you. Where are my sons? She asked as she looked around. What is going on? She had currently no knowledge of what the hell was going on, seeing that Black Zetsu wasn't here to give her all the knowledge of the current world. How long do you think you have been in there for? Said Naruto. As he stepped forward, as she looked at him, not saying anything. Well, that answered my question. You have been in there for a very, very long time. Things have changed, your sons. They have passed a long time ago. But I am here now to help you. Help me? How exactly can you help me? She said. Without notice, he dashed forward with great speed as he placed both of his hands on her shoulder. As she felt it. What are you doing? She asked. I'm taking your power, Naruto said. As she felt her body being sucked in. You really think that you can overpower me, boy? She said to him. As she was fighting back. As Menma and Liz noticed that. What do we do? Asked Liz. I don't know, said Menma. Distract, said Naruto. As Menma and Liz got the idea. As the both of them dash forward, Menma and Liz appear behind Kaguya as they raise their hand. As they fire off a blast of compressed air that shot right at her. But she was able to absorb the attack. Physical attack, said Menma, as he grabbed onto Liz's hand as he spun her around and thrust her forward. Liz dashed forward with great speed, using wind to pick up her speed as she brought her leg down an ox kick. As Kaguya ear spread out and grabbed after her, but Menma jumped in the way as he here grabbed him. Let my brother go, said Liz, as she fired off a dose of intense flame. As a split second there, Naruto let out a primal scream as his ability to stop time 2 times per day. He pushed himself to another limit as he saw time slowing down. As everything was getting slower and slower. As blood started leaking from his eyes and his ears. He was only able to do it 2 times a day. But for him to push himself beyond his limit was taking a great toll on him. But it worked. As Kaguya will wavered for a second. As Naruto absorbed her. As she let out a scream as she was sucked into him. Suddenly, Naruto collapsed down. As Menma and Liz also collapsed down as well. Because something was off the room. The pressure suddenly went down, making all of them go down. As the both of them narrowed their eyes at Naruto waiting for him to say something. But they didn't hear anything coming from him. Until a white light exploded from his body that seeped into the ceiling, destroying the kind of cave ceiling that they were in. The rift opened up as Naruto looked at both Menma and Liz. Go, he said. What? We can't leave you behind. Naruto looked at Menma. Go! As Menma looked at him, as Naruto was pleading with his eyes. Just go, Naruto said. As Naruto watched Menma grab onto Liz. No, we can't leave him. As Menma jumped out with Liz. The moment they left, the entire place exploded. As they arrived back to the real world, Liz started to punch Menma. Why did you do that? Why did we leave? Can't you see, he said. If we had stayed, we would have died. But what about him? Is he dead? How the hell are we gonna get back there, she said. How, she cursed. As tears came at her eyes. He can't be dead. He can't just leave us like this now. No, he can't be dead, she said. As Menma was praying in his heart that Naruto survived. Why? Why would he die? He won after all. He won, didn't he? Meanwhile, Naruto was floating in an empty abyss. As he was in some strange, just pure darkness. As he wondered if this was the same thing when he absorbed the 10 tails. But he didn't understand. No one or no question or anything. No vision, just pure darkness. What is this? He said. Naruto said a voice. Come back to us. As Naruto turned to see Liz and Menma. The people of sound. Everyone was there. Naruto, come back to us, said Liz. As Naruto moved forward. Yeah, right this way, said Menma. As Menma extended his hand. Naruto then stopped. No. What do you mean no, said Liz. Come to us. No, Naruto said as he felt something off. As Liz's eyes then turned black. I said come to us now, she said. As Naruto pushed back. As he saw all of them turn into pure. Some dark entities called him over there. What is this? What is this madness, he said. Where am I, he screamed. It seems like your will is shaking a bit, said a voice. As Naruto saw the 10 tails, his giant eye just staring at him. My will, Naruto said. You know what's coming down. The other Otsutsuki's. And when they do you think you can fend all of them off? Do you think you can rely only on yourself just because you're powerful? Asked the 10 tails. What are you talking about, said Naruto. I am not relying only on myself. It sure do look that way, the Tail said, as it vanished. As Naruto realized it was right. He has been worrying about himself and reliant on himself so much lately. When he had people, friends there, family. As he knew exactly what to do now. He was going to do something to tip the favor in all of their odds. As Naruto snapped his eyes open wide, this darkness will not hold me here. My will never waver, he said, as his Susanoo exploded outwards. The Susanoo drive its sixth sword forward and stab right into the emptiness as it ripped open a space-time portal. As it kept on ripping until it tear opened everything as the emptiness released light. Back with Menma and Liz, they saw something ripping open. It was a portal. As a smile came on Liz's face as she stopped crying. As Menma wiped away the few tears from his eyes as well. As they saw a white cocoon fell out. The white cocoon started to crack until a white light exploded from it and shoot straight up into the air. It kept on going and it kept on going and it kept on going. It even reached out of space as it then spread outwards. A far, 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 far distance away from the Earth. Two people. They were currently on another planet, far away from Earth. The both of them were females. Long white hair. Do you sense that? One of them asked. Of course I do, the other one said. Well, this is interesting. I thought I would never feel this present again. I wonder, how stupid can she be, the first one said. Suddenly, someone crashed down beside them. It was a man. He had a bulky figure. Huh. This is certainly odd, he said. It seems like a faint sense of her is roaming around space. Huh? Where exactly is she? One of the girls asked. The man looked up. I don't know exactly where, but we will find her. We must inform the leader of this. It doesn't matter how long it takes. As the man Byakugan eyes stared up into the sky. Do you really think that we should inform the king? We haven't yet found her, one of the girls said. Perhaps you're right, the man said. Back on Earth, the aura was spreading around the entire place as the literal Earth was shaking because of the transformation happening in that cocoon until it exploded outwards. Meanwhile, what the hell was that, said Minato, as the group was back at Konoha. As Kushina looked through the window, something else is happening, she said. Meanwhile, Menma and Liz was looking down as they had flying up into the air to avoid the rapid explosion of energy. What the hell happened? Menma said. I can't see, said Liz, as dust and debris was all over the place. Let's go and check. As the both of them descended down to the ground. When they saw him, Naruto was kneeling down. Until he stood up. What the hell? Said Liz, as he has gotten taller. And he's different. Naruto? She said. She stepped forward. He looked at her, unblinking, unmoving. I think something is wrong, said Liz. Naruto. I heard you, he said. Oh, so is it still you? She asked. As Menma walked around Naruto in a circle looking at him. As Naruto looked at his both hands. No and yes. What does that mean? Asked Liz. I don't know, he said. As Liz looked at him. Are you serious? Is it you or not? She said. Have your mind been corrupted or something? As Naruto looked towards her. No, it's still me, he said. Well, you certainly don't look the same, said Menma. As he looked at Naruto from head to toe, Naruto had two horns coming out of his head. His face looked different. It was more slim. And also he had long white hair going down into his back. And he was wearing a giant kimono that covered his body. You couldn't even see his feet. He suddenly flies straight up in the air. Naruto Liz called out as the both of them fly behind him. As Naruto stopped in the air. As he started to look around. As he looked everywhere. as Liz quickly rushed up to him. She hugged him as he looked down at her. Please, she begged. Please don't tell me that your mind have changed, that you have gone crazy or something. Please don't leave us, she begged. Something then snapped inside of Naruto as he opened his eyes and blinked a few times. Liz, he said. Naruto? Yeah, what happened? As he looked at his hands. It seems I've changed. Well, big time, said Menma. As Naruto waved his hand in front of him, and a glass ice mirror appeared. As he looked at his face and touched it. Huh. I knew that taking her power would get some of her resemblance, he said. Well, I'm glad I don't have boobs, he said. As Menma and Liz chuckled. As Liz sighed, finally, as she was happy. You're still same Naruto, she said. Of course I am, Naruto said. As Naruto then felt something pulling against his consciousness, as he could feel like he could cut that link. As he looked at Liz and Menma, I'll be right back, he said. As his body then went stiff, unmoving. As Naruto emerged in the Sage of Six Path dimension. As the sage looked him up and down. You have achieved the impossible, the sage said. As a smirk was on Naruto's face. As the sage looked at Naruto, as he was shocked. This boy has gone beyond what he believed. But guys, in the end of this episode right here, if you want the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications they posted. Remember to share to all of your friends, your social media platform, guys, and stay tuned for the rest of the what ifs coming your way. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But for now, I'm out of here, guys. See you guys soon. Peace.